Disrespect doesn't start with someone else's attitude. It starts the moment they discover your standards can be negotiated. Before anyone ever raises their voice at you, ignores you, or talks over you, they've already been studying you quietly, what you tolerate, what you forgive without being asked, how much you need to be liked. People don't disrespect confidence first, they disrespect permission. And permission is almost always given in silence. Here's the principle underneath all of it. Power follows perception. The moment someone senses your self-worth depends on their approval, they know they have leverage. But when they meet someone whose value doesn't move no matter who's watching, the game changes instantly. Disrespecting that person suddenly has a cost, and people avoid costs. That's why self-respect isn't just a personal virtue. It's a strategic signal. It tells the room, cross this line and you lose access to me, not through anger, through absence. And nothing unsettles people faster than realizing they might lose you. Watch the people who command a room without trying. They don't chase recognition. They don't interrupt to be noticed. Most of them say less than everyone else in the conversation, and somehow when they speak it lands. Why? Because everything about them says one thing without a word. My value isn't up for a vote. That certainty puts other people on edge in a useful way. They can't manipulate someone through guilt or flattery if that person was never asking for their approval in the first place. Now picture the opposite. Someone who laughs off insults aimed at them, apologizes for things that don't need an apology, folds their opinions to avoid friction. At first, people call it kindness. Then, familiarity sets in. Then, entitlement. And entitlement, given enough time, always curdles into disrespect. This is the part nobody tells you. Every time you let a line get crossed without a response, you haven't kept the peace. You've moved the line. People don't learn from what you say you'll tolerate. They learn from what you actually do. And once they learn your boundaries bend, they stop believing the boundaries are real. They start testing you in bigger ways, not out of malice, but because experience has taught them it's free. Respect isn't earned by being agreeable. History and psychology agree on this even when we don't want them to. People like kindness, but they respect standards. Be liked without standards, and you'll be forgotten by Tuesday. Protect your dignity even when it costs you something, and you become the person others think twice about testing. Real confidence doesn't announce itself. It doesn't threaten, perform, or remind anyone of its status. Those are the tells of someone who's insecure and covering for it. Genuine confidence is quiet because it has nothing left to prove. It understands that walking away from disrespect is more powerful than winning the argument about it. Which brings us to the second lever most people never learn to pull. Restraint with your words. The person who explains every decision, defends every choice, and needs everyone to understand them is handing out information for free, their thoughts, their triggers, their soft spots. And a person who's fully understood is a person who's easy to predict. Predictable people are easy to manage. The one who listens, says only what's necessary, and lets a criticism sit unanswered, creates something far more powerful. Uncertainty. The critic starts wondering if their words even landed. That small doubt quietly shifts who's actually in control of the exchange. This isn't about going cold or refusing to engage. It's about making every sentence earn its place. People respect words that are rationed because rationed words are never wasted. There's a third layer most people skip entirely. You become disrespected in proportion to how available you make yourself. Time, attention, and access that are given without limit. Stop feeling valuable to anyone, including the person receiving them. This isn't about playing games or manufacturing distance. It's about protecting your time the way you'd protect anything else worth having. When your presence has to be earned, people stop assuming it and they start valuing it. But availability is only the surface. The real source of leverage is growth, skill, discipline, reliability, competence that compounds month over month. People can dismiss a title, They can dismiss a lucky break. It's much harder to dismiss someone who keeps getting better because deep down they know that person has options, and people with options are never easy to control. This is why chasing attention is such a losing strategy. Attention is loaned to you and can be pulled back overnight. Competence is owned. It exists whether anyone claps for it or not. The moment your confidence stops depending on applause, other people's opinions lose their grip on you entirely, and they can feel that shift, even if they can't name it. And here is the move that changes everything: being willing to walk away. Most people stay in relationships, jobs, and friendships that no longer respect them because they're afraid of what's left if they leave. That fear is visible, and it's expensive. It tells the other person you have nowhere else to go, so they never have to change. The instant they sense you're genuinely prepared to walk, the entire balance of power flips. Now they're the one worried about losing something. None of this requires cruelty or arrogance. It just requires a life full enough that you're no longer desperate for anyone's validation to feel complete. Everything comes back to one word: reputation. Not the version of you that you describe in conversation, the version built from what people have actually watched you do over and over when it was inconvenient. Anyone can claim to have standards. Words evaporate the second reality contradicts them. But if someone has watched you hold your ground under pressure, calmly, consistently, without theatrics, they stop questioning who you are. Your actions already answered it. Consistency is the most underrated form of power there is. Most people are only confident when things are easy and defensive the moment they're challenged. That inconsistency breeds doubt, and doubt is exactly what invites people to test you. The person whose standards don't shift depending on who's in the room, who stays calm without going passive, respectful without going submissive, eventually stops getting tested at all. Their history has already told everyone how this ends. So protect your image less. Build your character more. An image survives only as long as people believe it. Character is what decides what they believe next. It's built in hundreds of small, unglamorous decisions, the ones nobody's watching you make, until those decisions simply become who you are. At that point, you stop asking for respect. It becomes the natural conclusion people reach on their own, because your character never gave them a reason to reach anywhere else.